Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to learn about plot. In every story we read, there is a sequence to how things happen. This is called the plot structure. It is logical and helps you, the reader, analyze the literature. Imagine you are watching a movie, and as the opening credits finish, the first thing you learn is that the hero is really the villain. What? Why even watch the rest of the movie? Imagine you are watching another movie, and at the end you learn that the two main characters are related, and that's why they travel together through some post-apocalyptic world. Well, that would have been nice to know at the beginning of the movie. Or, imagine you're watching a movie, and throughout most of it, you don't know why the protagonist or hero is on a journey. You find out in the second reel, halfway through, that she is trying to save her child. You might not connect emotionally with the character very well without knowing that information. In order to avoid these frustrating situations, all stories, written or produced, follow the plot structure. It looks like this. It looks like a mountain with a short side on the right. The story begins at the far left with exposition. Exposition is the beginning of the story where the reader learns about the setting where the story takes place and any background information the author wants to share. In the exposition, the reader meets the main and often some secondary characters. After the exposition, the left line of the diagram moves upward. This is where the author introduces the triggering action. The triggering action sets up the conflict or struggle that the main character or characters engage in throughout the story. The conflict motivates the character to move forward in the story. The triggering action will be specific to the story, like the murder of a loved one that sets the main character on a quest for revenge. But the conflict is general to literature and will be one of the following: person versus person versus society, person versus nature, person versus technology, or person versus self. Now that the story has begun and our character has a reason to move forward or has momentum, the next part builds the rising action. As the left line continues its upward slope, the rising action is the events that the character moves through, which build tension or suspense and add complications to the conflict. As the suspense and those complications build, the story reaches the climax, the point in the story when everything changes. It is not, I repeat, it is not about the most exciting part of the story. The climax is when there is a significant change for the main character. Like the line on the diagram changes direction, so does the path of the main character. The events that follow the climax are called falling action. On the downward turn of the line on the right side of the diagram are the events that lead the character to how the conflict will end. This might include the resolution of smaller conflicts. The end of the story, the lowest point on the right side of the diagram, is called the resolution. This is the part of the story where the conflict is resolved for better or for worse. This is also where the theme or themes of the story are solidified. By following the structure of the plot, writers lead the reader through the story. It is the map that allows the reader to enter new worlds.